Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the new channel. We're here to help you see the new you. My name is Michelle Mras, and welcome to Mental Shift. Well, good evening to the United States and to the Philippines. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 38 of Mental Shift. And if you've been watching our show, if you have not, and this is your first time, what we talk about here on Mental Shift is we bring people just like you and me and from all walks of life from around the world, and we discuss what they did in the past, when they had a mental shift that shifted their mindset to do something else or to achieve something else or, give back to the world in another way. Now, tonight, my guest is no exception to that. He is America's favorite 5-star customer experience expert. When he was 19 years old, I giggled when I learned this. He left the United States to serve as a volunteer at a volunteer Christian mission organization in the Philippines. He studied linguistics at Philippine Normal University, learned to read, write, and speak both Tagalog and Ilokano. He lived for 10 years in the Philippines, from Manila to Baguio to Tabuk, and I'm not going to say the other word because I'm quite sure I've messed up the name. So we'll ask him when he comes on. Now, today, he is a keynote speaker, a multi-time #1 best-selling author, all around really good guy. And in January 2020, he was invited to speak at an International Women's Empowerment Conference in Manila, Philippines. Now, this was his first time to return in the Philippines since he left in 1995. His passion is service excellence. He inspires and empowers speakers and leaders to share their greatness. And tonight he's going to share with us. Please welcome my new friend who can outspeak me in any way with all the Tagalog and Ilocano words he likes to throw at me, Christoff J. Weihman. Please welcome him.
Clap, 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 clap. Thank you, Michelle. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
Oh, do you like that all-around good guy?
Yeah, that was the best part. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. To those of you who are watching from the Philippines, and good evening to those who may be watching in the United States. Thank you so much, Michelle, for inviting me on your awesome show.
Well, you know, I had to invite you. I had to invite you in because what the world? That was interesting. That has never happened
They're
before.
calling from all over the country right now.
Well, why is it ringing on my computer is what I want to know.
I want to get on your show. I want to get on your show. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they're like, get me on now. No, that's not happening. We need to turn this phone off. But what I wanted to say was, I wanted you on my platform because you graciously invited me onto your platform.
Yes.
And I don't know, I guess we can talk backwards on how we met. And then the next time we're going to talk about what is your mental shift? Because that's really what I want to get to, because you have such a diverse background. I mean, you were in the Philippines at the same time I was in the Philippines.
I was. When I was 19, I guess that's a lead into a question, sort of, an open-ended. Tell us a little bit about it. When I was 19 years old, I connected with a volunteer mission organization. And instead of going to university in the US, I finished junior college and went to the Philippines. And 19 years old, I didn't know anything about any international country. I studied Spanish in high school for 3 years and got A's. And everybody said, "Oh, that's great. You're going to the Philippines. You're great in Spanish." I said, "Well, yeah, but that's not what they speak there." So I joined this mission organization and arrived in Manila in September of 1983. I don't know the exact date, but I know it was about 10 days after Ninoy Aquino was assassinated. So that was my entry into the Philippines. Security guards, Metrocom police everywhere. The first place where I lived was in Santa Mesa, maybe about a mile away from Malacañang. Wow. Which is the Philippine Presidential Palace.
Yeah.
And I actually stayed for, let me back up. I lived with a Filipino family in Guam prior to going to Manila, because I went to a short Bible training, discipleship training school in Saipan in Guam. So I had a little bit of introduction to the culture. Lumpia, it was important to know what lumpia is, which is a Filipino delicacy that is, it's, I guess, a
delicious is what it is. It's delicious.
It's delicious. Doesn't matter. It's great. Yes. And then I had a little bit of exposure to Tagalog. I had bought a book in Guam and they were helping me. I was already writing out flashcards, but I really didn't know what I was getting into. And lo and behold, it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. As you mentioned, I ended up living there for 10 years and I got married. My now ex-wife is from Isabela, which is in the north. I have 2 amazing children that are half Filipino. And I always say, ang Pilipinas ay nasa puso ko, which means the Philippines is in my heart. And even though I have not lived there, it's always been a place and the people and a culture that has been dear to me. And I thank God for the opportunity to spend those years there, which are actually really formative years. When someone's 19 years old, you're not really an adult. You're still figuring it out. You're still learning. So 10 of those years I spent learning and growing and experiencing amazing things in your native country.
Well, let's say you were there during the most turbulent time. And actually, I remember leaving Manila the day that you came 3 days after I left Manila.
Wow.
Is when you showed up. But
Yeah.
What's really neat about your experiences, I'm asking you for your mental shift, but honestly, you had a really big one by leaving the United States and coming to the Philippines and learning an entire culture and 2 languages of the culture. I mean, I left the Philippines at just right before I turned 16, and I lost my language. You were there and you still speak it. Now,
Yeah.
I want to share something before I forget to.
Okay.
Because there is a video. We don't have to play the entire video, but there's a YouTube video that I put up that I would like to share because this man sings almost flawlessly. You have the clip. Can we show it real quick? Because it's too neat to see this.
I'm not a great singer, but I do pride myself in the fact that I think I can sing a few Freddie Aguilar songs, who is the most famous folk singer of the Philippines and my favorite.
Now, I've told you which YouTube video I'm sharing. What song are you singing?
I'm singing a song called Anak, which is translated in English, which means child. There are no male and female pronouns in Philippine language. And it is really the story of the prodigal son. And it was, I believe, released in the early 70s. It has been translated into, I think, like 50 languages around the world. And it's just a really cool song.
Okay, well, let's see if they have it. You have it?
Karaoke na live band. First time ako sa live band. Salamat po. Nangisilang ka sa mundong ito, laking tuwa ng magulang mo, at tampay kamay nilay ang iyong ilaw. Tatanda na itatay mo'y kinalaman ng gagawin, namastan pati ang tulog mo. Sabi na buhay ang iyong nanay sa pagtimpla ng gatas mo. Sa umaga na may kalam ka ng iyong naman, tuwang-tuwa sa'yo. Ngayon ay malaki ka na.
Di man sila payag, walang magagawa. Thank you, Michelle. You made my night.
It just tickles me. Okay, for the audience, what language were you speaking?
I was speaking Tagalog, which is the main language or the national language of the Philippines. And it is the language that is the native language of the people that live on the island of Luzon. And the reason why it became the national language, does anybody know? Trivia question. Because Manuel Quezon was the president at the time when they chose a national language, and he was Tagalog. If he had been Hiligaynon, it would have been Hiligaynon. It would have been, any number. It could have been Visayan. But it's because Manuel Quezon was that was his native language. And he said, this will be the national language. And there it was declared, yes.
No, I wanted to share that because it's an aspect of you that people don't know. And we've got people popping up from all over the place. We've got Beata saying hi. We have Helene saying hi. Vivian from Puerto Rico is saying hello.
Hey.
But we've got people popping in and out. And I wanted to let you know that they all heard you sing.
and Michelle, this was when I had the opportunity, as you mentioned in my bio, in January of 2020, I was invited to come to the Philippines and speak at an International Women's Empowerment Conference. And I had spoken at a similar one in Las Vegas, but a smaller one. It was a 2 or 3 day event. And this was just right before COVID, before everything all shut down. And so my wife, Michelle, and I, my wife's name is Michelle too, yes, which I don't really love. I have so many Michelle friends in my life, but we made it a trip. We made it a vacation. We went there, and I was one of 5 gentlemen that got to share the stage with amazing, powerful women from secondary education, from broadcast media, government officials, you name it, high-level industry professionals, entrepreneurs. And there was 5 of us Americano men that got to come and share the stage. Guess what? We spoke on day 2 because that was like, okay, now we get to have the men talk. But it was a wonderful opportunity because I had not been back to the Philippines since 1995 when I left. So 25 years later. And during that event, I got to speak a little bit of Tagalog during my presentation. I didn't make an attempt to make it all in Tagalog, but I led the Americans in saying a couple phrases in Tagalog. I said, look, you just spoke in Tagalog now. And I ended my presentation by leading everybody in a song also by Freddie Aguilar called Habang May Buhay, which means as long as there is life, we have hope. And it was very inspirational and heartfelt. And I can't wait to get back and come to the Philippines again. Come
with me, because I want to go. I want to come back.
Let's go do it. Let's do an event there.
Speaking of events, then, that is how I met Christoff. I was introduced to him by Rich Pearson, right?
Rich Parsons, yes.
He's like, you need to meet Christoff. And I'm like, I don't want to meet Christoff. You need to meet him. And so we get on this call and he's talking and he breaks out in song. And I'm like, okay, there's something about this man. I have to know more. And he's like, well, come to this ultimate speaker competition. And I said, no, I don't want to go to a competition. I don't compete. And he goes, and I'm like, well, I'll go because I want to meet you and I want to meet your circle and the people that hang around you, because you have such a wonderful energy about you. You're just fun and you're just real. And with the silly hat, and you had to tell me I still have hair underneath this, and I'm like, okay,
that's right. I'm not bald. It's part of my look. But I do have hair.
Like, I have to meet this man who was in the Philippines at the exact same time I was. We could have run into each other as teens and wouldn't have known it. And I'm like, I have to go meet him. So I went to the Ultimate Speaker competition in Orlando, Florida, simply to meet Christoff and his tribe. And I went on stage, and eventually, through all of these amazing other speakers that were there, I ended up winning the competition. Yes. And Mr. Christoff is the one who handed me this. I can't show it because it's clear.
It's hard to see because it's see-through.
Yes,
but it is first place. And if you do not yet know that Michelle Mras is a brilliant storyteller extraordinaire, inspiring speaker, expert. We have 3 categories: expert, storyteller, and inspirer. Michelle could have crushed it in any of those categories. She chose the storyteller category. And what Michelle, I think, doesn't know, she does know that I've been reading her book. You and I have so much more in common.
Really?
Your husband was in the Air Force. Your father-in-law was in the Air Force. My son, Josiah, was in the Air Force, spent 10 years in the Air Force. You lived in Fairfield, California, as did my son. I believe you lived in Omaha, where my son lives now. He may be watching. He is now in Omaha. But you and I have so many things in common. And I, too, when Rich introduced us, I just felt that we resonated. And people say you attract who you are, or the people I think you have it right there. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And it really is true that the people that we prefer to be around are the ones that come into our circle for the most part. And we're able to learn and grow and connect with each other and from each other. I learned so much from others. I don't want to be the expert all the time. I don't want to be the smartest, because then we stop growing. And you are such an inspiration. and for you to come and be a part of our stage, it was phenomenal. My friends, listen, if I don't know if there will be a video at some point, because I'm sure our videographers are still preparing the footage from that event. But Michelle was on stage officially 3 times, and each time she brought another story that was filled with heart and emotion and actually vulnerability too. We don't tell people you have to tell your life story. It's wide open. People can share whatever they like. But I'm going to do this because this is one thing that I do, because I say this. It's about setting the tone. And Michelle really helped set the tone and establish what this event would be about, which is from the beginning, being open, being vulnerable, and bringing the heart and an element of faith as well, which just made that event so much more powerful. And it caused people to connect also. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and that's why I do share from the heart the way I do. And when I train my clients, when coaching them with speaking, I say, share from your heart. People connect through this unseen force. They get connected by emotion. You must connect. And that's why I love to sing. And that's why I share my heart, because it goes instant connection. And Cara says hi, by the way.
Hi,
and
Cara.
Sabrina.
And Helene, hello.
Yes. Thank you so much, Cara. Now, we need to go to our first commercial, but when we come back, I want to share how to reach Christoff. And he has a special offer for people too. So I want to share that too, because I want to share it again later on. And I love learning in every way to Michelle. Oh, thank you so much, Helene, my chemo buddy. So stay tuned. Don't leave us. And if you are watching right now and you're live, share the live stream right now. We'll be right back after this commercial. Welcome back to Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Mras. Now, the following TNC live streams are all given in Philippine time, and we invite you to please watch them either live or in replay. The shows are U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, The Homebuyer, The Puppet Stories Mondays at 5:30 p.m., The Big Picture Mondays through Fridays at 7:15 p.m. The Millennial Voice Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Foreign Affairs Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. HR Hotline Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at noon. Moving On Business. Well Home Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Money and More Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippines, 5:30 a.m. USA. And Cybernext. And check out our page on Facebook or YouTube by searching the hashtag TNC Now and enjoy these inspiring shows because we made them for you. And please welcome back my friend Christoff J. Weihman.
Woohoo! And I've got my baby Lily here with us.
You got puppy. We have the same puppy.
One of our 4. She decided to come and say hi.
Oh, come here. Come on up. Come on up. If you want to see him, you can come up. You got to jump up again. Up. Look what you did. Come on. He won't jump. Ugh. This is mine.
What's her name?
This is Larry.
Hey, Larry. Oh, woo woo.
My fuzzy one that looks just like yours does not come upstairs. He's with Dad.
And there's Yeti Boy.
Yeti Boy. The dogs cannot sing, Helene.
You don't know. We're teaching Yeti Boy Tagalog.
Oh, really? No. Larry, my dog, is very funny because he likes to say hello at the end of every show. So he knows when the show is over and he'll ask to come up so he can see who is on the screen.
Oh, that's fun. That's
yeah,
fun.
Very strange, but it's funny. Anyways, what I wanted to get back to is you're the curator of the Ultimate Speaker Competition, but you also do the 5-star excellence, right?
5-star customer experience training. Yeah, absolutely.
What would you like to speak on? Because I know the Ultimate Speaker Competition because I was part of that. I think it was phenomenal. And I foresee it being in every city in this country, just hopping cities every couple of months. And it's an experience. So if you're watching me, if you're watching Christoff and you're following us on Facebook and you ever see that Ultimate Speaker Competition come up, I encourage you to follow and apply, come in. Because I'm an international speaker, I'm a professional, but I grew so much being part of that stage and learning from all the different speakers. Christoff most definitely brings a really amazing group of people together, and it's such an experience to learn. So yes, and if you put it on the bottom here, ultimatespeakercompetition.com, you can follow them, find out where they're going to be next. And if it's in a city near you, or if you want to fly out from wherever you are, come on down. Because
and that's what's amazing, Michelle, that each time we've done this, and Orlando was no exception, we had people from 6 or 7 states. We had people from Chicago, we had people from California, we had people from Colorado, of course. There was a tribe from Colorado that showed up. There were people from St. Louis. Every time we've done this, it doesn't matter what this is the first time we've actually done it outside of Las Vegas, which is where I am from, or where I live, and where we started this 2.5 years ago. But now we have people that are saying, hey, can you come and bring this to our place? Can you bring it to our city? So it is growing. It's catching fire. It's building momentum. And if it resonates with you who are watching, come and join us. Come and find out more, because it's fun, it's exciting, and you never know how your personal development will happen and grow, or just growing your network of awesome influencers and business leaders and entrepreneurs.
Yes. Well, and the reason I encourage you to even look at this, go to that website and find out more about it. One, I won this year. I won the Orlando one, and it was such a magical experience to be in a room of people who were all holding each other up. We all wanted each other to do our best, and it was just magical of what happened there. Now, what a big part of it that we haven't mentioned yet, and Mr. Christoff will not say it, is that's what he does. He's a 5-star trainer, excellence, quality, and about giving service at its utmost. It showed in his presentation of the Ultimate Speaker Competition, because we all felt so special. He's like, no, I've got this too. I do. Why? I'm already feeling pretty dang good right now. I don't need anything else. And that's the magic of a leader, that you were able to uplift us and make us feel more without doing, and here's this, and here's a present, and here's a present. You didn't need it, because being around you, you made us all feel so special. And we all still feel so special that we're still connected. I don't see us disconnecting anytime soon.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
an attribute to you and what you've managed to do. So I would love to transition into your 5-star service.
Sure.
And what does that mean? And what is it? Because we are talking to people around the globe right now, and everyone, the world revolves around communication and service, quality service.
Absolutely.
I talk about communication, you talk about service. So please, where did that
And isn't it interesting that we are together here, right? So
Yes.
we have so many things that we can support and complement each other on. Service, customer experience. Anybody who's in business has customers. Without customers, your business dies. We have gone through such a difficult time, and we are still in a difficult time around the world with what is happening with the lockdowns and with COVID. And it is dramatically affecting customer service, customer experience.
Yes.
We walk around in many places like this, and it makes people feel claustrophobic. It makes people feel inward.
Yeah,
And
nervous.
it makes us feel less than connected. We have been told, and I understand it's for health and safety, but we're told now, stay away, keep your distance, don't connect. And that affects the heart, the emotion, the psyche of each individual person. And what you just said is absolutely 100% true. It's about the feeling. Customer service and being excellent in business is not about a set or series of steps of things to do. While it's good to have a checklist, I use this example all the time. Somebody can go through a checklist. I come from hospitality, so I worked in hotels and restaurants. My wife works in the hospital industry. She's a nurse. She's a leader in one of the major hospitals here. Somebody can look through all of those items to do. I greeted the patient properly. I explained to them about the medications. I told the family members what the visiting hours were. I did this, I did this, I did this. What are they complaining about? Because it's not just about the things we do, but it's about the internal, what I call the internal components,
Yes.
which has to do with mindset. There it is. There it is. First one. We didn't plan it, but see, that's your name of your show, Mental Shift. I say mindset, your attitude, your energy.
I would have called it mindset, but it was already taken.
No, mental shift is perfect. I'm going to say something. Please don't jump the gun as you're listening, my friends. I say this whenever I am encouraging or empowering or training regarding customer service. I say you should always be asking yourself this question. WTF. Don't say it out loud. It's not what you think. WTF. Not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not Whiskey Tango Foxtrot for those in the military. WTF refers to what Michelle just told us. It means what's the feeling? What's the feeling? That's the essence of customer service and customer experience. It's the essence of when we are speaking on stage. Mm-hmm. When you coach speakers, it's not just about getting your message out. It's not just about making sure I told the story. It's about the impact. We could say another word, impact. So I always say, start with the end in mind. I didn't come up with that. Stephen Covey did. But it applies to everything. Stephen Covey wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And he says, start with the end in mind. What's the outcome you want to have? So when you're dealing with your customers, whatever industry you're in, whatever business, whatever role you are, it doesn't matter that you're not the owner, the manager, the supervisor. You could be any particular role. But what is the way that you make your customers feel? Or the people in the audience? Michelle has thousands and thousands of customers right now. And they're you, the audience. And you see how she comes out. She comes out. We don't know what her day was like. I don't know what her day was like. She might have had a stressful day. Doesn't matter. Now it's showtime. Now she's here. Now she's here to serve you. She brings guests that she knows. I hope I live up to it too. But she brings guests that she knows will bring something of value, of inspiration, of heart to you. We can go through the motions and everything and do it all right and still be wrong because we didn't have the heart and we didn't focus on the feeling. Okay, was that 6 minutes?
No. No,
I say that because in the competition, my friends, we allow our speakers a time limit of only 6 minutes, which is not a lot of time.
No,
But-
and then when you win, you don't have much time for the next speech. It's like boom, 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 boom. It really tested who you were. And that's why when I tell my clients this, you must speak from your heart, understand your topic, know what you want to talk about, but speak from your heart, because there will be times as a speaker, because that's usually who comes to me, as a speaker or a professional speaker or stage speaker, or if you have an insurance company and someone walks in and wants to know what you do, you need to be able to get up there and impromptu speak and tie in whatever they just talked about all at the same time. So being able to speak from your heart, knowing what you know, and speaking from what you know, not what you speculate, but what you know.
Yes.
And then integrate what you need to and push it all out there. And that's what I did at my very last speech. I pulled someone's story from the audience and another thing I had heard in the back, and then something from my heart, and then something from my son. And I just pulled them all together and threw it out to everybody with full heart. And I didn't expect it to come out that way, but it came out quite powerful.
Yes.
But that's what it is about giving 5-star service. It's giving more than what you would expect. I give more than what I would expect to my clients, no matter what field I'm in. I've been the cook, the baker, the candlestick maker throughout my life. I'm 52. I mean, I've done a lot of things, but I've always given my best. And now as a stage speaker and a coach, I will continue to always do that because it's ingrained in me, just like it's ingrained in you. It's
Right.
part of our nature. And so when we meet people, like when Christoff and I meet people, we don't want to knock them down or pull them away or make them feel bad. It's all about service to each other.
Yes.
I will always leave a person feeling better than when they came to me. Like Christoff has the same methodology. He loves, loves, loves. Sincerity. Be real.
Be real.
Yeah.
I have a gift,
Yes.
if I may. I
Yeah.
wrote something called the 7 biggest service mistakes that are costing you money. And while we're talking about heart, that doesn't mean that we are people that don't appreciate money. Your business will die without money too, because customers equals revenue, right?
Yes.
I'll share this first. 5 stars equals 5 R's. If you deliver 5-star service consistently to your customers, whatever industry, you'll reap the 5 R's: repeat customers, referrals, reviews, reputation, and revenue. So don't misunderstand that we talk about heart and heart, that we don't want people to pay us for our services, for our products. We're not promoting that. Yes, support nonprofits, all of that, but money makes the world go round, just like love makes the world go round. So if you or your business or your team members happen to be doing any of these 7 mistakes, I guarantee you are losing money. You are losing money every single day in your business. So for those of you who are in the US, text 5 stars, it's right there on the screen, to the number 66866. 66866, 5 stars. It doesn't have to be capital, doesn't matter, just 5 stars. And then if you are outside of the United States, Philippines, Puerto Rico, the different places that people are watching from around the world, you can just text me.
No, email.
You may email me at Christoff@aspiretowwow.com. And I think maybe they were going to put there we go.
But you want to email the same words, 5 stars.
5 stars. That's all you have to do is just email 5 stars, and you will receive this little email e-booklet that will help you and your team to elevate. And the people, it's just the same as people who focus on growth and development, people who read books to help them grow even more. It's not that you're not enough. It's just, how can I do something even better? And so same with your business. I'm not saying, oh, you have to have a terrible business in order for you to benefit. No, we always, I believe part of the mental shift is to be in a mindset of constant improvement. What can I do better so I can serve my customers better? How can I be the best so that they receive the best?
Well, that's how I ended up at the Ultimate Speaker competition with you. I said, I can always learn more. And I brought parts of my tribe with me because they can always learn more. And
Yes.
there's a sense of abundance. I don't think that just because we're moving around and everything, it's like, oh, but he's a speaker person too. And we can learn from each other. We can grow. All ships. Knows that water rise, the tide rises all ships. Well, this is the tide. Well, let's ride. Come on, let's go. We'll rise. We'll rise together. Oh, leadership equals service. Way to connect with heart. Michelle Mras and Christoff. That was Collie.
Thank
Colette,
you.
actually. Her name is Colette.
Colette Smith.
And then Beata said, thank you for the gift of delivering the 5-star customer service, is what I love. Yes.
Thank you, Beata.
And this is just amazing about our congruence. And that's what I'm saying, Christoff, there's something else happening with us that we need to go do more to the world, because there's so much syncing up with us.
Yes.
And I can't wait to explore it. And that's why I wanted you on the show, because then I could get into your head a little bit more.
Well, if you have some specific questions, I think I'm open.
Actually, what I would like to ask before we go to our second commercial is I would like to ask you, with your 5-star service, what was your mental shift to decide to put that out? I mean, you've been in the service industry for how many years? What made you say, you know what, I'm going to put this together? What did you see? What was that mental shift snap when you went, I must give this out because the world is lacking it? What brought that on?
I've always worked in restaurants since I was young.
Okay.
Then when I went to the Philippines, I was in a different type of service. I was in what you might call ministry, but it's still serving. And I thought that that's where I was going to be for my whole entire life. Well, I spent 10 years there. There was a change, and that time came to an end without going into more details. So when I came back to the United States, I was a former missionary, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be after that. And I found myself working in hotels and restaurants. Even when I was on my way back from the Philippines, it took me 3 years to get back, because I spent a year in Saipan and then a year in Guam and then another year in Saipan. So it took 3 years to return to the U.S. And I still didn't know what I was meant to do or be. And I was still young. I was in my 30s. And so I moved to L.A., and I started pursuing acting and found that I was pretty good at it, but it never became what I thought it would be. But I focused on that.
Wait, we have that in common too?
Of course. I did stand-up comedy. I actually got a deal recently with HBO. I don't know if I had a deal with HBO, 100 channels for $9.95 a month.
I stuck my tongue out at him, for those of you who are only listening. No, it's just cracking me up because
I did stand-up comedy. I did improv. I learned how to write screenplays. I have some screenplays that are needing to be dusted off, but I still kept coming back to service. I kept coming back to hospitality. And when I was in LA, I had the opportunity to work with Wolfgang Puck, who in my mind is the original celebrity chef, original celebrity chef. And it was then that I began to really understand what is 5-star service. When people think of Wolfgang Puck, they first think of his amazing cuisine, and he does the Oscars and the golden statuettes on his cakes and everything. But his service level is on par with his cuisine. So I began to understand what that was about. Then I started working with other entities, other restaurants or catering companies. And then I moved to some other places in the US, and I saw a disconnect between what I had experienced and what I knew that I had been trained to deliver. And now some of the places that I was working, where they would say things like, well, we don't do that. It's just a simple thing. I worked at an Irish bar, and my normal procedure is that once a customer in a restaurant, a guest would go to the restroom, I would go back to their table. If their soiled napkin was dirty, I would replace it. If it was not, then I would fold it nicely and put it in front of their table or put it on the back of their chair. And I got scolded. I got scolded by the manager. He said, hey, we're not that kind of place. We don't do that. And I said, but I do that. Just like you say, you always do how you are. You always, it's not a show. You are who you are. And so I started to see this disconnect. And I thought, instead of saying something about it, I'm going to start doing something about it. So over a 6.5-year process.
Oh, 6.
I wrote my first book, Getting to Wow. Everybody wins with 5-star service. Why did it take 6 years? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned along the way. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to write your book.
Yeah, just do it.
But it opened the door for me. And now that was the launching of my customer service training and consulting company. The difference is I could be somebody who calls up a company and says, hi, I'm Christoff J. Weihman. I have a passion for service excellence. Can I come in and help your team? And they say, you're who? They say, I know. But if I or somebody else says, hey, we got the author of Getting to Wow, Everybody Wins with 5-star service, and he's a customer service trainer, he'd love to help your team. Oh, sounds great. Let's have a meeting.
Yep.
That's the thing. Books open doors.
Books open big doors.
And Michelle is another time best-selling author with the 13 Steps to Riches that just was released and hit #1 this week, correct?
Last week. I'm so excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. Anyways.
So that's where the customer service training came from. And it's a process. It doesn't mean that because I wrote a book, I've got all the answers, but I was willing to put it down and to put myself out there. But I continue to learn and grow and read and study and work on myself, and even the delivery of my training and my processes and my customer service. How am I following up my own customers? Yeah. Sometimes I got to read my own book again. Yes. And say, oh, that's really good. I should do it.
Well, that guy who wrote that was really smart. Oh, yeah, wait.
We need to be a good mirror for ourselves, right?
Well, honestly, by writing a book like that, it instills what you let in your head and sometimes let fall out. And I like to write because I get my thoughts on paper. And once it's on paper, it's more solid in my brain.
Yes.
And Helene, I know you said it's awesome when you get your book done, that you know you achieve something in your life, but it's not just about books. It's about being and living and doing your passion and pursuing your dreams. So Christoff, he followed his heart and his dreams around the world, basically, and has circled back into the United States to give. He ended up writing a book because he realized that service knows no continent. It's all continents. It's all people. When you give 5-star service, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're speaking the right language or the wrong language or whatever you're doing, people understand quality at a heart level. We can feel it.
Right.
And it comes back to what I talked about.
People also respond to smiles, and people, they feel energy, and they know when we're being kind, even if we don't understand the words, right? Yes. This is the challenge now when we wear masks. People think, well, I can't smile. You can smile. Yeah, and people can see it in your eyes, but it's not as easy, right? It's not as easy. So you got to send out the heart love more.
Yes. I've had people stop me with my mask on doing, thank you for smiling. I do. How do you know? They do. You're glowing. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably because
yes.
my cheeks are way up here. But we have to go to our second commercial right now. And if you're watching or if you're watching the replay, share this live right now. Share it so that more people can, jump onto this call and this live stream and learn more about Christoff and what he does. And, basically the synergy that we have when it comes to mental shifts and finding our purpose. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with Mental Shift. Hello again. My name is Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift. And the following shows are all in Philippine time. So please watch the live streams or the replays, the replays. The next shows are Healthline, Couple Goals, Win Within, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m., Market Leader, TNC Express, Thursdays at 11 a.m., YOLA, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m., Negosyo at Home, Fridays at noon, Tech U, TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m., COVID Stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m., Realty Reality, Saturdays at 4 p.m., Donnie Art Show, After Shift, Women at Work, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty, The Fourth Project. Also catch the TNC specials, which are One Day, the TNC Arena, TNC Press Con, and TNC Town Hall, which are on Saturdays at 7 p.m. and co-hosted by our TNC founders, Lloyd and Apple. Now, TNC Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience, so join them. And remember, it's never too late for Mental Shift, which is every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time in the United States, Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines. And I thank you so much for joining me and sharing the streams. For more upcoming shows, follow the hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube and allow your passion to inspire you, because together, let us hashtag see the new you. And welcome back. And where is my wonderful guest? Where did he go?
Where am I?
Here
I'm
you
here.
are. Now, I'm so glad you were able to join me today, because we're sharing a lot about who we are as people, our hearts, our passions, but how we do business. We do business the 5-star way. I mean, like with the whole ultimate speaker competition, the way I do my speaking and my training, we don't really do a lot of advertising because of that 5-star presentation. People do refer, they do bring us out. It's because, oh, you've got to meet Christoff. Oh, you have to meet Michelle. We are walking embodiments of what you talk about in your book.
100%. Both books. There's another one.
The Customer Experience First Class.
Yes, yes.
Are these all available on Amazon?
They are, absolutely.
Good.
This one, we were in a number of different categories, and this came out just last week. This is a compilation book that I have the pleasure of being a part of.
Oh, nice.
And we all know leaders are readers. We learn and we grow. And yes, those books are all available on Amazon. And
what was that last book? Because I didn't see the name.
It's called Impact, and it's a book of acronyms. It's inspiring, motivating, powerful, Acronyms for Cognitive Thinking
Okay.
by Jen Duplessis and a host of, I think, 30 other writers.
Cool.
And, you were talking about the connection and just the vibe that was created as a result of our event. It's really about supporting each other. And you had mentioned before you had mentioned about this something. Yes, I can speak a little bit of Tagalog, but my English a little rusty. A little rusty.
Right. So you got Russian going down there too. So
you had mentioned about there should be an abundance mindset. So that's maybe the mental shift that I've had and continue to aspire to maintain. We can do the same thing. You are a speaker coach. I coach speakers, but we can still support each other. We can promote each other because everybody is not for everybody. People sometimes have a mindset of, oh, well, I can't associate with that person because they do exactly what I do. And I say, while our event is a competition, however I do that right there.
yeah.
Other than the event, I really don't believe in competition.
Yeah.
It's cooperation, collaboration. Find people that are in your industry and connect with them. Say, look, we're serving the same customers. How can we support each other? How can I do something to complement what you're doing? Same with nonprofits. There may be a nonprofit that is focused on serving the homeless. Well, there's another nonprofit that's serving the homeless. Are they at odds with each other? No, they're after serving and solving the same problem. Why not come together? Why not find ways that you can promote and support and encourage and empower each other? That's what the world needs, right?
Yes, and I laugh when people say, "I can't believe you're going to help people, do what you do." I said, "I coach speakers. I coach speakers to be better than me because I'm learning and acquiring and then giving it back out." So, it's almost like my VA calls me an Avenger. She says, "So you take all these superpowers and you take them and you push them back out to everybody else." I said, "Yeah, it's what I do. Welcome to the Avenger team," because it's about up-leveling everyone. So if I can acquire more knowledge and learn from other speakers and grow, if I have that capacity to be able to absorb that, then when I meet another speaker who's growing and is missing something, I do, okay, I saw this happen on stage and this is how I think you can maneuver. Oh, you've got that same kind of body vibe, or you have that vocal tone. I incorporate it. And it's not because, I'm great. No, I remember what I see and what I hear. And I want everybody who comes through my path to be the best version of them every day. So that's what I do. And we're running out of time, Christoff. Okay.
That's fine. We'll see each other again.
I think so. But
that is what you do. And how much impact can one person make? Well, if we're willing to multiply and amplify and have impact on other people, then there's no limit, right? There's no limit. Did I just lose my microphone?
Everybody's voice. Someone is waiting for that one particular voice. Why do you think so many motivational speakers say the same thing? Like, my goodness, I swear that person's just saying the same thing. Oh, and that person's saying the same thing. And then you meet another person who says the same thing. You do, that's what they meant. It's that one voice that is waiting to be heard by your brain or someone else's brain. That's why we cannot crisscross and hit. We are just overlapping and sharing, and who needs to hear it will hear it from you or from me or from whoever. Yes. That's why I want to make sure we multiply these voices. That's why when you have that ultimate competition, I think it's so magical by bringing that 5-star service in, that making people come together thinking that they have to compete. Well, what does the word compete mean? It means bring your best. That way, when they come together, they're bringing their best and sharing their best. And we're all competing to ourselves yesterday, but we're still elevated no matter what. That's the magic of what you did. And I'm like, whoo, I love it. Between you and Michelle, I was having a ball in there. But we are almost out of time. And I thank you so much for joining me. And everyone on that list, to everyone who's been saying hi and sharing and doing all that cool stuff, Thank you so much. And a special thank you to Helene, my chemo buddy. Where can I find it? Helene, I found the purple pen. And she always asks about purple buses, purple pens, and purple root beer. So purple pen. She's an artist. Yes, she loves to draw and create art and things. So I wanted to make sure I pointed her out because she loves purple.
Hi, Helene. I love purple too. Purple is royalty.
Yes,
Purple
it
is
is.
spiritual. Purple is amazing.
Royalty and special. Okay, so I'm so glad we had this time together.
Me too.
Sing a song.
I could sing something else. Sa kabukiran. I forgot the words. Pagkagising mo sa umagay na maririnig mga ibon. Himig na inawit nila ay kay tamis at ikaw ay maaakit. It's talking about the birds that sing in the morning, how beautiful is their song, and you're just enjoying it. Good morning, Philippines.
Good morning, Philippines, and good night to the United States. For those of you, Christoff, thank you for joining us. Say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. It's been my joy and pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you again, Michelle Mras.
Okay, don't go away too far. Okay, I do want to talk to you again. Now, for those of you who are watching, please remember that Mental Shift is played every Tuesday live, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and on Wednesday mornings at 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines. Pick your time zone and come join us live. Now, we just watched and learned a lot from Christoff J. Weihman, and he is America's 5-star customer experience expert. He's got a couple of books out there, and we now know how to reach him. It's all in the threads. So reach out to him if you need him and when you need him, and get that free gift he gave out was the 5 stars text to 66866 or email it to his email. And now I can't remember the email, but we have it in the thread. And that way you could get his free gift that he was giving out to everyone. Christoff at aspire2wow.com, and just email the word 5, the number 5, stars, STARS. Until next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on where you are, my name is Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift. Be the best version of you, unapologetically.